views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
This is your moment. Gather together each week to follow leadership by example, love, and inspiration. Welcome to Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness with one of the most prominent naturopathic doctors in this country, as well as a leading detoxification and environmental illness specialist. Now, here's your host, Dr. Roni.
Hello. Welcome back. You know, I have my friend, Dr. Makeba Mooring, with me. She's been missing in action for the last 3 weeks, and we're so happy to have her back because people have been asking about her. You know, Dr. Makeba has been working with me closely at the retreat in the last couple of months, and we do workshops together, not only radio, we do many things together. We're starting to travel together. She's a great leader with emotional detoxification, and she does really well with nutritional prescriptions. And she's a great educator. And all you listeners out there are familiar with Dr. Makeba. Today, we're going to be talking about something very special. And as one of our clients, not one of our clients, but several of our clients have asked us to concentrate today on what do we feel and what do we think, and do we recommend some of the things that we've been doing at the retreat for the average person that's trying to get healthy and lose weight. And I wanted to say absolutely yes. There is nothing that we do at the retreat that's for a specific niche of clients unless we're really dealing with a private client and we're dealing with a specific chronic illness, and then we customize their program. But for the most part, we are always doing 10 specific things for a person's health at every retreat for every retreater. And we also cater to children and elderly as well. And I want to talk about the top 10 things that we do at the retreat and how you can do the same thing in your own home to get healthy. Dr. Makeba and I talk about this all the time. We talk about it because we're invested in our children. You know, they're in college, they're in high school, and now I'm a grandmother, so I'm constantly worrying about the kids today. Dr. Makeba, welcome back, and thank you so much for doing a special segment on chronic illness and how we can get 10 specific things out there. And after I finish talking to you about this, I want to talk to you a little bit about some emotional work that we can help our listeners with. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's been a minute. We have had a wonderful, beautiful summer, and I'm just so happy. I'm appreciative to you, Dr. Roni. You know, you're the greatest, and I'm also appreciative to our listening audience that asks these questions, because that's definitely how we learn, how we improve our health, and get this life we all deserve. So, I'm just all around appreciative. We're getting into this fall weather. It's slowly switching, but I think this is a great time for this subject. So our listeners and everybody out there can start fortifying their bodies, to find out so they don't get sick, because an ounce of prevention, as we know, is much better than a pound of cure. So I think this is just such a perfect topic. Thank you, Dr. Roni. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to, spit out 10 specific things right now, because there's some of these things are worthy of a detailed discussion. And, we can spend 10 sessions on each and every one of these topics. But for the sake of clarity, I want to at least start out by talking about, I am a detoxification specialist. I've been detoxing people all over the country and even out of the country. And as you well know, we get people out of the country. We have a young man who's there. He's been with me now for 40 days, and he's lost 70 pounds. And he's still losing each and every day. And he's losing weight. And one of the things I want people to understand is there's still a lot of communication and misconceptions about what is a detox. Well, our detox is, we specialize in what's called maximum nutrition in small dosages all day, which basically means every 2 hours during the day, we give the body the opportunity to feed at the cellular level. And when I say feed at the cellular level, we're talking about 2 trillion cells. And that's basically, I always say, your life stream is your bloodstream. And why keep it clean? And when people say, well, how do I keep my bloodstream clean? I will say, well, let's just keep it really simple here. The first thing you want to do is you really want to talk about food that's healthy and clean, first of all. What is clean food? We know that clean food is things that are green because that was put on the earth to cleanse. Like if you look outside and you see all the beautiful green trees, those trees were meant to clean the air. So inside, if we put green foods in our body, it's meant to clean our body. So you always want to keep your body clean with rich green nutrients. When I say nutrients, I mean things like collard greens, spinach, kale, chard, celery. We had a dandelion the other day, and people say, well, that was sort of bitter. But you know what? The bitter, the better, because bitter vegetables are really good for your kidneys. And then we had broccoli rabe, which is also bitter, which is really good for your kidneys as well. So if you just take all the green foods that you could possibly think of and juice one green juice a day, you're doing something really profound for your health. So the first thing I say on that list for 10 healthy things to do for a healthy body is to first cleanse. And we start out with green foods, but that's not the only thing that we have during the detox, because when I say maximum nutrition all day, every 2 hours, that encompasses a lot of other things that we can talk about. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, when you were at the retreat, how did you find making your green drinks tasty? Because, I say green drinks and people look at me still, although it's a lot better today, but they still look at me and go, ooh, I don't know if I can do a green drink every day. But I've watched you make green drinks that taste really super good. How do you make your green drinks?
You know what I do with my green drinks is, of course I always have my leafy actual greens in them. And usually I use kale, but you certainly can use other greens like collards, particularly when you're juicing them, if you're actually juicing them. Other than that, what I usually do when I'm actually juicing them, it depends on if I'm juicing or if I'm doing a smoothie. So what I actually do when I'm juicing them, if I'm dealing with the greens, is I'll actually put just a small piece of apple in it. Apple is the one fruit that mixes pretty well with vegetables, but it just also cuts the sharp chlorophyll taste. Mm-hmm. And it adds just a touch of sweetness to it. And it's also, apples have a lot of nutrients in it that go well along with the vegetables. So that's one thing that I do. Now, when I'm doing the smoothies, really, I kind of like the taste.
Taste, uh-huh.
Yeah, I've gotten used to the taste, and I like the taste. If I do anything, but people have to be conscious of adding too much, I'll get a small piece of ripe banana, not too much, and I'll throw that in there because it also helps with the consistency of it if it's in a smoothie form. But you know what? A lot of times what I'll do is I won't even do that. If you add the greens to a little bit of protein, like a little bit of almond milk, I'll do that. But if you add the protein to it, so it depends on what we're dealing with, because if you deal with that, then that's not really going to be detoxing. But just for the green smoothie itself, I'll just leave that out, and I kind of just like the taste of the greens. I'll just use the milder greens, like the kales. I won't use anything that's too strong, like the mustards and the collards. And if I have to add just a touch of juice to that, some apple juice that was freshly prepared, that's all I do. I don't really do much than that. Because you know what I think, Dr. Roni? I think they end up tasting. Oh, and the other thing I do, I'm so sorry, is I'll put a touch of, you can put a touch of real lemon in there. Just a touch of fresh lemon juice. It adds so much. I've even done it, the greens, a touch of fresh lemon juice and a touch of ginger, or the fresh ginger, and it just gives a pop taste. So you could just play with it, and that's what I suggest to our listeners, that they just play with it, and the tastes that they're usually used to. Like if you like the sweets, I gave you the tip of the touch of apple juice, but it needs to be apples that you actually juice, not store-bought. And the fresh ginger is a good idea. If you like that tangy taste, you can add a little bit of the fresh lemon. All of these will manipulate the flavor to be very tasty.
Well, when we come back, I'm going to give you my special green drink that I make for myself, and I'm going to leave the listeners with this, and I'm going to give you a recipe when I come back. But green drinks are very alkalizing to the body. It helps to get rid of acid, and it also helps you with digestion, and is really good for your liver and your kidneys. So when we come back, I'm going to give you my favorite green drink that tastes delicious.
Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness with Dr. Roni continues in minutes.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fontaine on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, remove your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Speaker, teacher, channel, clairvoyant, Leslie Fontaine is a transformation catalyst who channels a powerful energy from source to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times, and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Roni DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Roni DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Roni DeLuce at info@RoniDeLuceOnRadio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Roni DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Wondering how to play the game of life and actually win? Stop wondering and start willing the game of life with the unique and incomparable Lynn Brown. As an intuitive healer and experienced business manager, Lynn can help you live your life to its full potential. To learn more about Lynn, visit ruintuit.com. That's the letter R, letter U, intuit.com.
Hello, we're back, and this is Dr. Roni on Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness, and there are truly a lot of miracles. And I'm speaking with Dr. McCabe, and we're having a great time discussing 10 important things that you should do for your health, not only to lose weight, but to stay healthy, especially with the season coming up, flu season's coming up, and a cold winter, I heard. So we just finished discussing detox being number one. And believe it or not, we wanted to put number two as water. What do you think, Dr. McCabe? Because I have a lot of chronically dehydrated clients at my retreat.
You know, Dr. Roni, we truly, I just love working with you because it's like we're of one mind here. Definitely number two, water. It is absolutely amazing. And I really hope that everybody out there is writing this down, because sometimes the answers are so simple that it just kind of skips past us. And to know that you could have avoided a major operation or a major illness if you had just drank more water. So I would say definitely number two, to should be water, considering that it is essential nutrient for life. It is probably one of the most essential nutrients for life. So we have to talk about how important this water is, because I, like you, have found that the vast majority of all clients that I see are dehydrated. And first thing we have to do is hydrate them just for the other nutrients we're putting in to be absorbed properly in the body.
And and that's really, really, really interesting, because I did not forget that I'm supposed to give my favorite smoothie, but I just the water thing just jumped right out at me, and I didn't want to miss that. So I'm going to get back to water in a minute, but let me give my my favorite detox green drink, because one of the listeners called in earlier and wanted me to give her that. So it's an all-around green drink for me, and it quickly affects my body, and I can feel the energy immediately, and I almost feel the toxic elements leaving my body. I know people are probably saying, well, how does she do that? But I'm really sensitive, and after one green drink, I really do feel it. And I know that my body craves it. Some people must wake up in the morning and crave coffee or cigarettes or sugar. I don't know, but I know my body craves green drinks. So that's my favorite green drink, and I hope she likes it, and I hope she enjoys it. Now, getting back to water, a question just came in, how much water? Well, I drink half of my weight in ounces, and there's no real solid answer for how much water, because some people have weak kidneys, and you don't want to push too much water on them. And I would just say, when you eliminate in the toilet, your urine should not be colorless, and it should not be colorful. It should be just a slightly tinged yellow. And you drink enough water, like I said, at least half of your weight in ounces. The other thing is that when you're detoxing, this is a great question as well. You always want to drink distilled water. You don't want to drink mineralized water, because what are we doing? We're cleansing. We're removing elements and toxic substances from the body. And when the distilled water is the best water to do that. Now, I don't suggest that you do it all the time, especially on maintenance, but as a cleanse, as a detox, you want to use distilled water. And what about the minerals? I can hear people saying, what about your minerals? Well, guys, your minerals are in your juice. You can take extra cell-ready minerals, if you feel like you need them. But that's the whole purpose in doing fresh juices and drinking broth. And we're going to talk about broth later. But I would not worry about the minerals in the water. And there's been a lot of research, especially the latest research, is that our water has hard minerals in it anyway. So that's water. Do you find that in the summertime people are more dehydrated than in the wintertime? I have a interesting research I want to talk to you about. Answer that for me.
It's interesting, because I find a lot of people really dehydrated in the wintertime. And
it's interesting you said that. Me too.
Yeah. I actually think I find more dehydrated in the winter, and that for two reasons for that. The winter weather is very subtle in pulling moisture out of your body, okay? Yes. And it just pulls and it dries out. The other reason is because it's not that sweltering heat where naturally you would go and desire. I mean, your body sweats more in the summer, so it's more of an urgent need for the water that human beings kind of just naturally go to. But in the winter, by it being really subtle, people could just really get dried out and dehydrated and not know it. So I think that's why I'm seeing more people in the winter, because they're just not as aware of it, where in the summer it's pretty obvious. You'll sweat profusely, you start getting a headache, they run and go get something to drink.
Right.
I find strong deficiencies, really, they start around this October, November time. And once it gets into, the cold of the winter, people really just get dried out. And I found out they may have not touched water in a week or so.
And the other thing, don't you think that I found this too, especially towards the November, December, January months, people start eating heavy food, and they're eating more concentrated food, and especially starch and sugar, and that also dehydrates you as well. And also, of course, protein dehydrates you as well. And I think that people don't really drink as much because they're eating heavier. So there's a lot of reasons why we see dehydration in the winter as opposed to the summer. But it's interesting too, and I always like my statistics, but we're now living in a society where they're building more dialysis units than they are any other bodily, physical, chronic illness machine. And why is that? Because number one, we're toxic. Number two, we don't take care of our kidneys. And number three, diabetes is on the rise and has been for many, many years now. So there's a lot of reasons why we have dialysis machines all over the place. But between detoxing and drinking water and some other things that we're going to talk about, I think that we can really make a huge impact on people's health.
I absolutely agree with you. And the thing that's so important about mentioning that is, again, as we're mentioning that the second nutrient on our list that is so vital is water. I just want to remind our listeners that it is, in fact, a nutrient, meaning that you cannot live without it. It is essential for human existence and all the functionings of the body. And so, of course, the kidneys are majorly affected when you're in a state of chronic dehydration. And the result can be something like a dialysis. So, again, prevention, something as simple as drinking sufficient amounts of water is so important.
So our third subject that we're going to talk about out of the 10 healthy things that you can do to increase your health this year is nutrients, 43 essential nutrients. And I talk about that a lot lately only because we have found that people are malnourished in the land of the plenty. And people don't believe it when I say that there's so many malnourished Americans in this country.
Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness with Dr. Roni continues in minutes.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Roni DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Roni DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Roni DeLuce at info@RoniDeLuceOnRadio.com and visit mvholisticretreat.com. Dr. Roni DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Are you seeking a more deeply connected and fulfilling life? Do you often find yourself feeling overwhelmed, overworked, or exhausted? Are you ready to embrace a life filled with more love, connection, and joy? Best of the month list and 5-star rated on Amazon, Conscious Being by author TJ Woodward will awaken you to your true nature. To learn more about how to get your copy of Conscious Being, visit ConsciousBeingBook.com today.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information. Are you feeling broken from your relationships? Are you second-guessing yourself about friends, family, and lovers? Tune in to the hit show that's creating a buzz in the love-seeking community. Love Seeker Radio, finding love for your authentic self with renowned love coach Heather Lynn. Tired of dissatisfying relationships? Kiss them goodbye and power up your love seeker energy. Coach Heather Lynn reminds you that you can just be you, the beautiful and perfect you. Visit heatherlynncoaching.com to learn more.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basile and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
very important subject matter. We talked about detox, we talked about water, and now we're talking about maximum nutrition and small dosages. And when I say that, I mean putting 43 essential nutrients in your body every single day, 100% of the RDA recommended daily allowance. And I'm talking about vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, all the B vitamins, zinc, some major minerals, zinc, magnesium. We have a low in people having a really chronic low level of magnesium these days. So we're talking about manganese, magnesium. You see, we're really talking about vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids at a very high level. We're talking about being able to absorb the nutrients in a way that you've never been able to absorb these nutrients before. Why is that? Because you're putting these nutrients in the body with clean food. You're putting the body in a state where it's got what's called maximum absorption. It's almost like using that science of nanotechnology. When you eat the food, you can immediately feel it. It immediately goes to the cellular level. And that's why people are having such a profound energy, and also it's changing their lives because of the fact that they can digest this food so easily. And I remember the other day when I literally was looking for my oatmeal, because the 43 essential nutrients come in only about 5 to 7 different foods right now, but this company is actually putting out more and more foods each and every month. So in another couple of months, they'll have maybe 4 more foods out. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not really about the food. It's about the 43 essential nutrients that you need each and every day to have a healthy body. And no one used to talk about that. No one would sit down and actually sit down with someone and say, let me teach you what the 43 essential nutrients is. Why do we call it essential? Essential means your body absolutely can't live without it. Well, if that's the case, why didn't we learn this? And every single grade, every single school should be teaching our kids what it is to have 43 essential nutrients in our body. Only until they start doing that, the obesity rate will not go down and chronic illness will be creeping up faster than you can say the word. So the number 4, let's talk about 43 essential nutrients and how do you get that in the body? No, you don't take a handful of vitamins and minerals like people used to do 20 years ago. You eat food, concentrated, dense, healthy food that have these nutrients in it. And if you need for me to give you more information on that, please go to my website, drroni.myevo.com. And then Dr. McCabe will give you her phone number. You can call her, and she loves to give 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. She's willing to give you free consultation just to answer some of your questions about how you can get these foods in your body and then how you can go on a quick detox to get healthy for the winter, before flu season starts. You need to start getting these things in your body. And, one of the other important things that I want to talk about, and I don't know if I have enough time to start this subject, but Dr. McCabe, can you give us some information on how important the 43 essential nutrients are to you? And then I want to talk a little bit about integral wellness after that.
Well, they're vitally important, and I just love the YAVO products because they are constantly coming out with more products. But what I tell my clients is that even if you just have one YAVO food a day, you're getting those 43 essential nutrients, and you're getting it in the most absorbable way, because what's important is absorption. What's important is what your body can use. And by it being infused in this food, your body can utilize maximum amounts of it, as opposed to vitamin pills that have been known for very low utilization. So I just love it, even if it's just, the oatmeal is really, really delicious. The rice cereal is good. And again, although there are presently only 5 or 6 foods, just use one of them. You could use a different one every day. Then you can, add your other meals to it. So it's just a wonderful thing how technology has combined with nature and working with our bodies in the most holistic way possible. And, because it's amazing that it took technology a while to do this properly, because it's all about absorption, and these products provide that. So I'm really just in agreement with you, Dr. Roni, that everyone can, go to the website and get these foods as soon as they can. They're essential nutrients. And it prevents, and that's the key to also preventing getting sick, is providing the body with essential nutrients. Mm-hmm.
Give your phone number so that if they have any questions on how to get the food.
Of course. So if you have questions about how to get the food, emotional detox, nutritional prescriptions, you could just give me a call at 314-398-8676. Again, 314-398-8676. Thank you, Dr. Roni.
And, I wanted to tell you this because one of the clients at the retreat, I'm always talking about cellular health and how we have trillions of cells and we can change them. We can renew our cellular level in a matter of 30 days if you pay attention to it. And he came out to me the other day and he said, is it my imagination or is my varicose veins getting better on my legs? And I said, healthy veins come from healthy food. So if you're doing healthy food, yes, your spider and your varicose veins are slowly going away.
Yes.
And people just, I don't understand what's hard about that. You got to understand that our bodies, like you look at your skin and you look in the mirror and you look at your body, that's just a covering. What we really are is a bag of cells. So you want to clean up your cellular level, because when you do that, it affects your skin, your hair, your brain, your heart. Talking about a healthy heart, the heart is the core of the body. You need a healthy heart. And of course, you need your brain. Otherwise, your heart don't mean anything if you don't have a brain. So all of these wonderful organs that God put in our body is to work together. Our liver, our kidneys, our intestines, all of it. Every single organ in our body lives off of nutrients. And all we're saying today is that you clean up your body. And the second thing you do is you hydrate your body. The third thing you do is you give your body 43 essential nutrients. And then the fourth thing, we're going to talk a little bit about the fourth thing, because and this was brilliant when this lady asked me this. She wanted to know, okay, she said, Dr. Roni, you say it all the time that you customize protocols. And I have a serious liver disease, and I heard that you had some liver issues 25 years ago, blah, blah, blah. She said, well, how do you customize my program as opposed to someone else who's at the retreat? And I said, that's a really good question. So I want to talk about the fourth thing. No matter what you do, whether you eat good food, or whether you drink good water, and whether you exercise or detox, there's still something left if you have a chronic illness. You must always have blood work, and that's called integral wellness work. That we take your blood work at the retreat, and we customize a program just for you based on your blood work. If you have liver issues, we will do liver herbs. If you go to my website, drroniholistichealth.com, I have 21 chronic illnesses on that website. And each one of those chronic illnesses, I have a kit, a therapeutic, medicinal, herb, homeopathic, essential oils kit on there to assist someone with a chronic illness. It is the beginning of a whole body renewal. It's amazing that she asked that question, but that's number 4. And then, you've met Dr. Tomas, and you know that we do some of the best blood work that any integral wellness doctor can do. And we will draw anywhere from 10 to 15 vials of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And And that's just so that we can customize someone's program. Because if they come in with a chronic illness, the first thing we're going to do is detox. Second thing we're going to do is put maximum nutrition in their body. But we're also going to customize their condition with what's called therapeutic, medicinal, and sometimes prescription. We're not against all prescription medication, but we do what we have to do in order to get that person back in balance so that they can live a healthier lifestyle. So that was number 4. And I know we only got a few more minutes before we go to break, but I wanted you to talk a little bit about why is it that we have so much insomnia, because that's number 5. People don't, if I tell somebody this, and I say this a lot to my clients, if I had to choose between sleeping and eating tonight, you know what I would choose?
Sleeping.
Yeah, you know that. You know that about me.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because if I don't sleep, the food that I just ate is not going to do its job. Isn't that amazing? Right. The body repairs itself when you're sleeping. So sleeping is really important, but we're living in a state of chronicity and insomniacs. I mean, it's so many insomniacs. I mean, I've got people, I would say 1 out of every 10 come with the oxygen now.
Right.
So maybe that's because I do serious whole body disease work, but I'm literally seeing a lot of oxygen. We've got the guy from Saudi Arabia there right now with oxygen.
Right. Because they can't sleep at night, or they have the what do you call it? The where they stop breathing.
Sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. Yeah, and so we I think we should definitely go really into that after the break, because that's a sign of severe nutrient deficiency. Also, it's not just. Of course, some of the signs of it are obvious with obesity that's going to contribute to it. But the real sign of it is some essential nutrients that are absent within that person's cellular structure. That so that's why they can't sleep. And then when that's provided, they sleep just like babies. Sleep like a baby.
But I started sleeping better as soon as I started eating my 43 essential nutrients.
Right.
I was already sleeping really. I didn't think I could sleep any better because I always thought that I was a great sleeper. But now I'm like, literally, I wake up like clockwork after 7 to 8 hours.
Right, right.
Literally, I'm almost embarrassed that I sleep so well and so much. Like,
well, that just means.
Forget about the emergency. I mean, I now have to have awake staff when I have really chronicity at the retreat, because I used to take pride in waking up like around 2, 3, 4 at a pin drop. Now forget that. The building can shake and I will not wake up.
And so so many people are texting me right now and they want to know, what are you doing, Dr. Roni, that you're sleeping like that? So let's address that as soon as we come back from the break.
Yeah, I would love to, because I really take pride in the fact that I sleep really good. And I also want to tell you how it all happened and why I started sleeping really good, because it wasn't always like this. I felt like I slept 5 to 6 hours and I was okay with it, but I had no idea that I would feel this good sleeping a solid 7 to 8 hours. Not everybody needs 7 to 8 hours, but whatever the amount of hours that you do need, you need to get that. Otherwise, your body will not repair, and in the food that you eat, the body will not be able to digest the food because it's exhausted. It's tired. So I think that a lot of times what happens is that we're going to give those keys. All
right.
Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness with Dr. Roni continues in minutes.
If you're one of the millions of Americans suffering from anxiety, you probably know how powerless and out of control this emotion can make you feel. This is why it is so important to remember that anxiety is created by your mind, which means that you can learn to use your mind to uncreate it. Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. My award-winning book, The Fear and Anxiety Solution, provides you with a step-by-step breakthrough process to understand and resolve the root causes of your anxiety and build a solid foundation of confidence and inner peace. If you're ready to take your power back, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com. That's thefearandanxietysolution.com, or call 866-903-6463. That's 866-903-MIND.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Roni DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Roni DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Roni DeLuce at info@RoniDeLuceOnRadio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Roni DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Hello, back again with my friend Dr. McCabe Mooring, and we're having a great time talking about 10 healthy things that you can do to renew your body this season, to keep from getting the flu. And I always used to say, Dr. McCabe, disease is unfortunate. So it's better to fortune your body right now. So let's start reconstructing the body. And I believe that you can do that easily by the 10 things that we're talking about. Number 1, clean up or detox. We talked about that. 2, water, which I was very passionate about. We talked about that. 3, 43 essential nutrients, how to put that back into your body. We talked about that. 4, we talked about integral wellness and how you can get a customized program by getting the right type of blood work. Now what we want to talk about is elimination. That's my other favorite. I talk about elimination a lot because, you know, we're very toxic people in this country today based on what we eat. But also, did you know that the number 3 over-the-counter medication is for your colon? It's for your digestive system. Yeah. To me, I think that's like number 3. That's like, wow. Of course, pain's number 1, but that means everybody's constipated or something. Right. They either constipated or have diarrhea or something's going on. So anyway, elimination is extremely important. And, you know, I always like say every time you eat, you should always ask yourself 2 things. Am I going to get nutrients from this? And is it going to help me go? There you go. Right. 2 things. And so if you can't answer yes to those 2 questions, then don't eat a lot of that food, because truly, 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 elimination is truly the answer to keeping a clean body. And that's why, you know, I'm not ashamed to say that I do colonics all the time. I do coffee enemas. I do herbal teas. I do a lot of different things to help me keep clean. Because I feel like if I'm going to put good nutrients in my body, then I want to make sure I get the bad stuff out. So elimination is really important. I'm really sad to say that 90% of all the people that come to the retreat, most of them, I would say at least 90, they go like once or twice or sometimes 3 times a week. And the ones that do go regularly, those are my people that they're my practitioners and they're my wellness clients, my clients that just want to come and hang out with me. But for the average person to not go to the bathroom every day in today's times, I think that's pretty sad. I think we've got a lot of education still to do regarding that.
I agree with you. I don't think that the importance of going can be stressed enough. nothing in the body can function if the colon is clogged, because then everything will be poisoned. The blood will be poisoned, which means the heart, the brain, the kidney, the liver, everything will be poisoned. So it can't be stressed enough, the importance of increasing your elimination. I, like you, I very proudly say that I do enemas and colonics regularly. My children do them regularly. They have been the lifesavers. I also want to add that the second most fatal cancer in the U.S. is colon cancer, and in most of these cases is a direct result from a very overconstipated colon. So something that's so preventable by prevention. So that nothing more could be said like that. And it's a shame because it's a lost art. It was something that our great-grandparents knew 100 years ago, and for everything now, go take some castor oil, go take an enema for every other thing.
Oh, yeah.
The reason is that 75%.
Did your mother used to have the red? Did your mother used to have the red bag in the bathtub in the
the red enema bag. So, and they said it was a cure-all, but it actually, that wisdom is that's one of the wise tales that are true. It is a cure-all because guess what? Your colon, which is the most significant part of your immune system, is 75 to 80% of your whole immune system. So it's determining everything. And when it's clogged up and toxic, you will be. You could put as much in as you can. It won't do much if that's clogged up. So that just can't be overemphasized enough. It's no way to go about it. And you instantly feel better. When I travel and don't have my enema bag with me or something and happens, and I go quite regularly without it, 3-4 times a day, I'm like, oh, no, I didn't forget. That's like the most essential item that I carry. I don't leave home without it, being on the road, traveling, or whatever I'm doing. So that can't be stressed enough. It might be pretty, but it is what I call the universe. It is the sun to our planet. And if our planet is our body, that colon is the sun, and it has to stay clean. So enough can be said.
It has to stay clean. Absolutely. You know, so anyway, it's time for us to tune up this season, and let's fine-tune our instruments, our organs. We really need to start doing that. We have to pay attention to our organs. This year, out of all the years that I've done this work, I've seen more pancreatic and liver cancer. I don't know, there's something out there in the air that must say, call Dr. Roni, or is it truly an epidemic? I'm not quite sure yet, but I've not seen so much pancreatic and liver cancer this year. And it's got to be something going on. It's everybody has to start tuning their body and putting in the nutrients and fine-tuning their organs, because it cannot work for you if you do not take care of it. And that's what I'm going to say about elimination. Now, we also know, we talked a little bit about, I don't know if we're going to get through all the 10.
No, I just think we need to highlight the next most important one. Yeah.
Okay, this is your favorite. Why don't you talk about exercise?
Oh, well, you know, that is definitely one of my favorite. Exercise, because if you do not use it, you will lose it very easily and very quickly. And that's just the way.
What do you say about those who come to the retreat? Because, you know, I deal with chronic illness, and the last client that walked in here, he came in on the wheelchair and oxygen. So, you know, to say exercise to him would have been totally almost abusive. So
but
how
you know
do you
what?
get somebody like that to think about walking? How do you start out with someone who's huge, really obese and have a chronic illness? What would you tell that person?
And it's a shame, because once you get to that level, you're very limited in what you can do, but you do still have to do something. You cannot just lay in the bed. You'll get bed sores and your body will go through atrophy. So we do all sorts of things. You can do manual manipulation, lymphatic massage, different type of massage. We have, and then we do a small amount of walking.
Yes.
A very, very small amount of walking, because it's still exercise. So what it is exercise has to be in perspective to the person's health. Let's put it like that. But it still has to constantly go on. So if we have someone who is grossly obese and also chronically ill, obviously they cannot move much, particularly when they're going through a serious detoxification program, but they still have to move. So we still put the water in there. We still put the colonics in there. We still give them the massages, and we still have them do a small amount of walking, even if it's just to their room and back, because it's relative to their size and their health condition. And then we slowly add to that, particularly after their body's finished the initial part of the detoxification, and we're going to the maintenance part, because that's when it should be implemented most, on when you're doing maintenance, meaning in your regular lifestyle. Because if you do it in your maintenance, in your regular lifestyle, that's what's going to prevent you from getting to the severely chronic stage. Because what exercise does is it greatly improves the efficiency of the functioning of your organs. So literally, the more you use it, but it's a double-edged sword, though, because it's the very thing that you can't do much of if you're chronically ill. That's why you should try to avoid being chronically ill. But because then it's too much, so you have to do it very, very lightly. But you can always do massage, something, because that's still moving. You know, just like if you had someone in a nursing home, in order to prevent them from getting bed sores, what do? You have to flip them, you have to turn them, you have to massage them. You have to make sure you have to manually manipulate the legs and the arms, because if the muscles don't move, they go into atrophy. So it's the very thing that should be maintained more than anything else other than water on a regular routine basis when you're healthy. Do not wait until you go into a chronic state where you have to lessen it, because it is the one thing that improves the efficiency of something. So it's just like your car running, the efficiency of it. And when the efficiency of a machine is much better, the chances of it breaking down are less. So exercise cannot be stressed enough. It is an essential nutrient to the body.
And you know what? And I wanted to talk about, you said something really exciting, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I didn't want to lose this. The client that couldn't walk, that came in with oxygen and that in a wheelchair, lymphatic massage really helped him to walk. I was amazed. We started out with this lymphatic massage. Next thing you know, we got all that edema off his legs, and then all of a sudden he just started walking. Right. So circulation is extremely important, and you're absolutely right. You just cannot just sit there. You have to move. And if you can't move, then you have to get rehab or get a therapist in to move for you, and that's exactly what that therapist did. She came in and moved his limbs, massaged his lymphatic system, and got him out of bed. And now, believe it or not, he walks almost the entire Main Street down to Cumberland and back. That's almost a mile. He goes to the spa and he walks back. So that's almost a mile, and he came in a wheelchair.
And you know what, Dr. Roni, before we leave, I have to overemphasize that, because I want our listeners to know that I was there when this client came. And Dr. Roni is even putting it lightly. He could less than not walk. He could barely get up out of the car and make it up those three little steps without being exhausted. And your miracle work of the lymphatic massage and his detoxification, I am telling you now, he's jumping and skipping and practically running. You have to like slow him down.
I know. It's amazing.
And now he understands that he can't let himself get back that chronic and that diseased and that obese again. You just did such miracle work with him.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity for me to change the lives of many people that come to the retreat. You know, I look at the mirror and smile and say, you know, everyone, let's just all tune our bodies up so that we can live a healthier and happy lifestyle.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Roni, Miracles of Holistic Health and Wellness. Tune in every Friday, 3 p.m. for more exciting guests and surprising stories. Visit her website at drroniholistichealth.com. Skype her at Roni.Deleuze. Tweet at twitter.com Dr. Roni. Or call and leave a text at 774-208-2477.